I'd like to talk to you today about power tools and their batteries. These are some old NiCad versions. Most newer power tools use these lithium ions now, and whether they're 20 volts or 12 volts, and whether you like the original or something that's compatible, there's a wide variety. They come in anything from a little over 3 volts to well over 80 volts. Depends on the type of power tool that you're using, whether it's indoor, outdoor, whatever. I've even heard of some of the woodworking tools that are now up over 120 volts. But anyway, what happens if, okay, you've got an old favorite that you like, but maybe the charger's messed up, maybe the final battery pack's finally died, and you just can't get a replacement on these old NiCads. Kind of like this old trusty thing here. Now, this I have had for many, many years, and it's adjustable for speed, and it's a 1/4 inch hex impact DeWalt 12 volt. This has a Black & Decker. Hopefully you can see that. It's a Black & Decker 12 volt battery pack. Although this is not an actual battery pack. This is one that I have actually converted to be an adapter. Now, what does it run on now? Let's put this big thing in here. Yeah. And the speed control obviously works. And yes, this is a 12 volt running on a 20 volt battery pack. How in the world do you do that? Well, I've had quite a few people interested in this, so I thought I'd try to make a little short video showing you a little something about how I do this. Now, irregardless of what type of battery pack you have, like this little Black & Decker 18 volt 4/8 cordless chainsaw, I've already taken out the screws. You gotta pull this all apart, and some of these can be quite tricky. Just pull the batteries out, work to get this out, and now all you really need, first off, make sure you still got the spring and the little button. Basically, all you would need to do here is take you some side cutters and cut, or you can take some kind of pliers, whatever you like. These are some nice little Gerbers at multi-tools that I like. But you can come in here and just literally pry that right off. But anyway you go, this will have to go back in here. Then you'll take whatever type of fairly heavy gauge wire you've got, solder in on this. But you'll have to take whatever battery pack you want to run it on, and you'll have to cut out an opening here for this to fit. Now you can use a Dremel tool, you can use a multi-tool, a die grinder, whatever you like, as long as you can cut it out. Now, one thing you need to make sure of is that you don't cut to fit this outer portion. What you need to make sure of is this inside part. Because this inside portion is where your battery is going to slide into your old case. And whether you do that on something like this or a 18-volt DeWalt, same basic thing. Pop these off, make sure which is positive, which is negative. Cut this out to fit. And then here is a nice little old Craftsman drill. When I got this, I didn't have a good battery pack or a charger, but I did have a pack. So this is what I did to it. And you'll see that down deep inside here, all I have literally done is soldered in some wires on the main connectors, these up here, and then to hold that in place, I just took some hot melt glue and put down inside. Now, what about these little connectors here? Any kind of connector terminal that you can find or that you will fit, you can use. Nice big fuse, breaker of some kind, smaller type fuse, that's a regular size, this is a large. Basically, whatever fits into the slots will work. Run that down, solder them to here. Then, like I did on this one, all I did is take my hot melt glue gun, put in here, wham bam, ready to go. And again, I can take my DeWalt battery pack or a version thereof, and it's ready to go. Now this is a 14.4 operating on 20 volts. And I can put any DeWalt or DeWalt compatible battery pack on that and it will work. Here I have, this is a Handyman Tough Test, and this battery pack is actually designed for the same thing, any kind of DeWalt. I've got quite a few DeWalt tools, so the DeWalt battery packs, that's what I've been using. Now, do I only use hot melt glue? No, I do not. Let me get this one out here. This little thing has been treated very badly over the years, but it's a Black & Decker. And as you can tell, it has been dropped and beat, and I've had to repair it multiple times. But this stuff here, what this is, I have a little 3D pen, and what it does, when you plug it in and turn it on, it heats up this filament and extrudes it, so I can put it into place and it will literally melt into the plastic. That's how I have repaired most of this. So a 3D pen, great tool to have. Now, is that the only way to fix plastic? No, there's tons of ways of doing that, and I'm not about to get into all that. This is a DeWalt battery pack that came off the truck, had some pretty rough treatment, But hey, it still works now that I have put it back together using my 3D pen. Another nice thing, if you happen to get an old tool, now this is a Makita, and it was a friend of mine before he passed away. And anyway, he didn't have any of the battery packs, and we couldn't find the charger for it. So I got doing some looking, and I found out that the Hyper Tough battery pack will slide right into these with only a little bit of modification. It's now back to working, and all I really had to do was go inside here, and I don't know how well you can see this, but here on the actual contacts, what I had to do was come up in here and put that little groove in the middle of each contact. That allowed these up above to actually slide into place. Then, as the latch is further up, I took part of what I had cut out of the old NiCads using my paint pen or my 3D pen. I welded it into place so it would hold. Now, one thing you want to make sure of is that if you do on both sides of a half, do most of it on one side, so if you ever do have to pull this back apart, you only have to break or heat one side just a little bit so you can get back into the tool to do any repairs. Another thing you can do, this is same source, Makita flashlight, and the outer ring was busted up. Couldn't find a replacement, so what I did is I got it back together, kind of half welded it a little bit, and then I took some epoxy and added to it, and then all I did was sand it down and do the same modification as I did to the other. And I don't know if you can see that very well or not, but hey, I upgraded it to an LED. Whole lot better. I don't know how well this has inspired you, but I have I have Makitas running on Hyper Tough. I have 12-volt DeWalt NiCad systems running on 20-volt DeWalt battery packs. I have Tough Test working on both the DeWalt and the regular Black & Decker. So I have a variety of stuff that I can use to power my Tough Test tools. I know I've kind of covered quite a little bit fairly quick, and hopefully you can kind of get an idea how to do this and maybe help fix some of your old tools. Here is an old favorite of mine. This is a little DeWalt saw, 12-volt NiCad, and as you can tell, it's taken some falls off some ladders and roof, various different things, and I have literally taken my 3D pen, soldering gun, different things like that, and worked this back together. Still holds, still works. You can get a hot stapler, and literally take pieces of metal, heat it up, push it into this plastic to help hold it in place, then cut off the tips, sand it down, take your paint pen, or excuse me, your 3D pen, put a little plastic in there, kind of help get rid of the low spots, help reinforce it, and hey presto, your little trim saw that you love so much is working again. Yes, I've had this thing for decades, literally, and I still use it fairly often. So hopefully this gives you some good information. Maybe you can fix some of your tools, or maybe a friend's tools, family member, whatever. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you would, please hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, I'd like to see you subscribe. And like I said, give me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see on this channel, and I'll try to see if I can get it done. And until next time, take care and have a little fun every now and then. Bye.